What's going on, everyone? Yeah, I have a different tenor to this video than most of them I do. Yieldmax noobs continue to get wrecked on days like today, and they become emotional basket cases. I want to get into it. This is Mike, Tactical Stock Scalper. You know, during big red days, I felt like I was a person on social media that'd be like, hey, it's okay, just buy the dip, whatever. And for the past 2 years, that has worked out. Every red day, or no, I would say every red day, but every pullback has been bought up the last 2 years. I mean, it's market has done nothing but rip. Market go up, pull back, people freak out, whatever. People go in and buy, like myself, during those periods. Market goes back up, and the cycle continues over and over again for the last 2 years. At some point, that's obviously going to stop. At some point it's going to actually correct and go down for a prolonged period. And if you got wrecked today, can your account notwithstand not only a bad day like today, but can it withstand weeks, months of a prolonged down period? I don't know. It's up to you to decide. Now, we're going to talk about later on in the video about things, preventative maintenance, things you should have done or things you could be doing, that if that happens, you'll be better off for it. But watching panic ensue over social media on every big red day is freaking maddening. Honestly, it's gotten to the point where it's ridiculous, and it's like clockwork and Groundhog Day, because that is exactly what's happening. And it's not just one person or two people. It doesn't matter. It could be Reddit, Facebook, Discord, YouTube. It's all the same, and it's all the same freaking people every time. It's like nobody ever learns about the market, themselves, or their account. But why would you freak out? Like I said earlier, the market has done nothing but go up for 2 years. And yes, eventually it'll stop when that, stop happening. But until that does, buying on dips during market downturns the last 2 years has been the play. No doubt. Okay? All it is an opportunity to build wealth. Market goes down, you buy at cheaper prices, you increase your share size, lower your average cost for the eventual run back up. That's happened the last 2 years every single time. But people still freak out like, oh, this is the one. This is going to be the one that's going to send us to a correction. Maybe not. But that's what they say every time. And it's like people calling for the end of the world. One day, those people are going to be right. When? Who knows? But yeah, it just drives me nuts watching people freak out on every red day. Now, there are some people that should be freaking out. And these people probably won't. They probably won't learn. These are the people that are either A, over leveraged on margin, right? Or B, the people that go in way too heavy at the top of the market as it's making new highs continually, right? These are the people that should be learning the most, and they don't, because they continually do it until eventually the market teaches them a very valuable lesson that greed and being over leveraged will wreck you. Now, if you're smart enough to sell and get out of all that, then kudos to you. But if you haven't learned anything, if today, with the market dropping, didn't teach you anything, if you're over leveraged, then you're going to learn a very valuable and painful lesson. Now, here are some ways to kind of mitigate, right, future losses if this does turn into correction. And I feel like every major red day or dip, I feel like I'm saying the same thing, but it's up to people to learn how to deal with these market conditions, okay? First thing you do, try to get your margin to an acceptable and responsible level. That way, when big corrections happen, you won't be hurt. To me, there's nothing good about margin calls, right? Because if you don't have the money, you're going to have to sell shares, possibly at a loss, right? So you're losing money from that sale, right? Selling shares at a loss to compensate for the margin call. Or maybe you have the money and it's play money and it's not real money. You don't actually need it to live off of, and you can funnel it back into your account. It's like gambling money, right? No big deal. So, I mean, I guess those are two ways to do it, but neither one of them, at least for me, is acceptable for my lifestyle and my account. Being responsible with margin is extremely important. And the people that aren't will learn a very harsh lesson at some point in the future. Will it be this little pullback could have turned to a correction? I don't know. Nobody knows. People will act like they know, but nobody knows. It could rip up Monday or keep falling down Monday. It's whatever. But it's about being prepared for these instances. First thing, either A, don't use margin as the market keeps ripping up to new highs, stretching further and further from the mean, knowing that the eventual pullback or deep correction is coming, or at least, be reasonable with your margin so you don't hurt yourself, right? Whatever reasonable is to you, right? But that's probably the first thing. Check your margin status and make sure that you can withstand major pullbacks or corrections. Number two, and take profits. And I see people hardly ever do this in the high yield space. They will hardly ever take profits. Now, matter of fact, many people buy above their cost basis continually, right? And they're increasing share size, which is great, but they're upping their average cost. So that means when the bottom falls out eventually, which it will, they're going to be hurt even more. So not going in above your average cost is one thing you can do to help mitigate risk. Another thing you can do is take profits. If it's above your average cost, you could sell shares, right? Sell your shares, take that profit, reinvest it into something that's lower or safer or whatever, or keep it in the cash and then wait for that opportunity and then go in when it's way lower. Another thing you can do is if it's above your average cost, okay, and you don't want to sell your shares, which is totally reasonable, right? You don't want to take profits. Take those dividends when they are above your average cost and bank them or put them into something that is either A, safer, or B, way lower. So that way your money's actually working for you. I prefer cash. That's what I do because I know what's going to happen in the future of a big correction or even down year. I know it's coming. When? I don't freaking know. But I feel better about building cash positions and putting in a high yield savings account, making something, right, from it as the market continues to go up. That's just my thoughts. Don't be a punk. If it's going down, I dip by, right, at levels on the chart. And then if the market starts breaking down, then we de-risk. We continue to go short with trades, making money from the short side and we've also built a cash position during this whole market run-up. Not a time to panic, just a time to be tactical. This is Mike, Tactical Stock Scalper, out.